The crystalline halls of the Valorian royal palace hummed with their usual efficiency as Sarah Mitchell pushed her cleaning cart down the eastern corridor. 3 months into her contract as part of the Human-Alien Cultural Exchange program, she'd grown accustomed to the strange beauty of the palace, the walls that shifted colors with the time of day, the servants who communicated in melodic chirps, and the ever-present sense that she was being watched. What she hadn't grown accustomed to was Prince Kairos's dragon. The creature lounged in the prince's private garden, a magnificent beast the size of a small shuttle, with scales that shimmered between violet and gold. The Valorians called it a bonddrake, a creature that shared a psychic connection with its master and served as both companion and protector. Most servants gave the garden a wide berth, but Sarah's route required her to pass through it to reach the upper terraces. She'd done it successfully for weeks. But today, as she hurried past with her cart, the drake's massive head swung toward her, its eyes, luminous and intelligent, fixed on her with an intensity that made her freeze. "Easy there," Sarah whispered, her voice steady despite her racing heart. Humans might be newcomers to the galactic stage, but she'd grown up with dogs, horses, and one particularly ornery cat. An animal was an animal, even if this one could probably swallow her whole. The drake's nostrils flared. Then, faster than something that size had any right to move, it lunged. Pain exploded in Sarah's forearm as crystalline teeth pierced her uniform and skin. She gasped but didn't scream. Screaming around a creature this size seemed like a poor survival strategy. The drake released her almost immediately. Stumbling backward with a sound that was half whimper, half roar, Sarah clutched her bleeding arm, staring at the creature in shock. The drake was thrashing now, its wings partially extended, its eyes rolling in what looked like distress. What in the void? Prince Kairos materialized in the garden doorway, his 3 eyes widening at the scene. The Valorian prince was tall, with skin that shifted between blue and purple depending on his mood, and right now it was flashing a violent crimson. "Drake, stand down!" But the drake wasn't listening. It writhed and keened, a sound that brought guards running from every direction. Sarah found herself surrounded by armed Valorians, all shouting in their native tongue, while the prince tried desperately to calm his bonded companion. "The human poisoned him," one guard hissed. "Impossible," another countered. "Humans don't have toxins." Sarah, feeling lightheaded from blood loss and confusion, did the only thing that made sense. She walked toward the drake. "Human, no!" Kairos shouted, but Sarah ignored him. She'd seen this before, not in a dragon but in her neighbor's dog that had eaten something it shouldn't have. The thrashing, the distress, the way the drake kept pawing at its own head. She reached out with her uninjured hand and placed it on the drake's snout. Hey, it's okay," she murmured. "I know it hurts. Let me help." The drake's eye focused on her, and suddenly Sarah felt something she'd never experienced before, a presence in her mind, alien yet achingly familiar. Images flooded her consciousness, the drake's confusion, its pain, and underneath it all a desperate apology. Understanding crashed over her like a wave. The drake hadn't attacked her. It had tasted her blood by accident during what was meant to be a playful nip, the kind it gave the prince all the time. But human blood, human DNA, human neurochemistry, it was all wrong for a creature psychically bonded to a Valorian. The drake's system was rejecting the foreign biochemistry like a massive allergic reaction. "It's not poisoning," Sarah said aloud, her voice carrying across the suddenly silent garden. "It's an immune response. Your drake's biology doesn't know how to process human markers. It's like anaphylaxis." Kairos stared at her. "How do you know this?" "Because I can feel it," Sarah replied, still touching the drake. "Can't you?" The prince's 3 eyes widened further. "That's impossible. The bond only forms between drake and Valorian. It takes years of—" He stopped, his skin shifting to a shocked white. "You're in its mind." Sarah could feel it now. Not just the drake's distress, but a deeper connection forming, like roots growing between 2 trees. Her human immune system, forged over millions of years of evolution on a death world called Earth, was already adapting, fighting back against the drake's rejection. She could feel her body producing antibodies, neutralizing the conflict in her bloodstream. More than that, she could feel her own neurochemistry doing something the Valorians couldn't. Where Valorian minds connected to their drakes through centuries of coevolution, human brains, plastic and adaptable, were forcing a connection through sheer biological stubbornness. "It's okay," she whispered to the drake and felt the creature's pain begin to ebb. "We're okay now." The drake's thrashing slowed, then stopped. It lowered its massive head to rest against Sarah's chest, nearly knocking her over with its weight. A rumbling purr vibrated through its body. The garden remained silent. Guards stood frozen, weapons forgotten. Prince Kairos approached slowly, his skin cycling through colors Sarah had never seen before. "In 3,000 years of Valorian history," he said quietly, "no one outside the royal bloodline has ever bonded with a drake. The connection requires specific genetic markers, neural pathways that take generations to develop." He looked at Sarah with something like awe. "What are you humans made of?" Sarah, still cradling the drake's head, managed a weak smile. "Earth's a tough neighborhood, Your Highness. We adapt or die. Guess your drake just found out which one we're better at." The news spread through the palace like wildfire. The human maid who'd bonded with the prince's drake became an instant sensation. Scientists arrived to study her. Diplomats whispered about the implications, and Sarah found herself at the center of a revelation that would change humanity's place in the galaxy forever. Because if humans could bond with drakes, creatures thought to be forever beyond the reach of non-Valorians, what else could they do? What other impossible barriers might they cross through sheer adaptive resilience? The answer, as Sarah would learn in the weeks to come, was almost anything. But that night, as she sat in the palace medical wing having her arm properly treated, with a massive dragon curled protectively at her feet and a prince who couldn't stop staring at her, Sarah Mitchell just felt tired, and perhaps just a little bit proud. After all, that's what humans did best. They endured, they adapted, and they made friends in the strangest places, even if those friends occasionally bit them first.